You're listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo! My compliments, little lady.
Commercial!
Break for 30 seconds. Get to transmission.
You are now listening to BaaD Radio.
Hello and welcome to BaaD Radio. BaaD stands for Business at a Distance. This is a show about local businesses and business networking. We are here in the News Radio WFLA Orlando studios from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Sunday. I'm your host, Angela Smerito, and in studio with me, we have Melissa Jacob with Striking Brands.
Sorry, cutting you off. Hello. I'm just trying to hurry up and get it in before the tornado comes.
I know. It is so dark in here. So we got the tornado warning before I got into the studio today. But Melissa is our co-host as well as our videographer. If you go to baadradio.com, and that is BAAD radio.com, you can see all the previous episodes of the show. And then if you go to strikingbrand.com, then you get to see all of Melissa's other work, because in addition to doing video work, she is also a photographer.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. So please join me in welcoming back in studio Ashley Voltoline with Get Me Automated. I was so excited when Ashley reached out to me about being on the show again, because I would love the show that you were on. And because like I said, when I was going through like doing all the content reels, I was like, oh, you know what? I didn't remember talking about that. So getting the opportunity to listen to it again and then pull out the individual pieces like that was really interesting. So excited to have you back. How have you been?
Good. Thank you.
I'm going to pull that a little bit closer to you there. I told her when we were getting ready, I was like, you speak lightly, so we're going to have to get your like right up there on the microphone. So let's just reintroduce you to the audience. So let everybody know what Get Me Automated is.
Yeah, so we're a digital marketing agency. We focus on email marketing, websites, chatbots, and now we're doing project management as a automation.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the term digital marketing agency,
right?
Because there's lots of different things that can, include. Because like you have digital marketing firms that do a whole bunch of paid digital, right? So they do lead gen. Then you have other digital that just do creative. So what are all? So you just mentioned it, but let's talk about the individual pieces. Okay. So you mentioned email marketing first, if I remember correctly.
Right. Yes.
It was like all of 30 seconds ago. So let's talk about email marketing first. So my first question is email marketing still relevant?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, talk to me. Sell it to me. Because I'm going to be a skeptic a little bit, just because I know how I look at email.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Well, definitely, spam marketing is not relevant, and that is why Google has gone through, and Yahoo has gone through all this trouble to make sure that everyone authenticates their emails, because all that spammy stuff is over, and you'll see that those are not even probably hitting your inbox anymore. So email marketing is for people that have opted in, like you mentioned, lead gen. So maybe you got them from an ad, maybe they came to your website for some reason and they specifically said, I would like to receive emails from you. Then it's relevant. And those people will likely open it because they're expecting something from you. So text marketing is a lot more, the open rates are a lot higher, but we usually use those in conjunction with email marketing.
So you do text marketing as well?
Right.
Okay, so and that's an opt-in.
Same thing, yeah. You have to if you just have someone's text, their cell phone number, that does not mean that you'll be able to send them text marketing. They have to explicitly opt in for you to be able to market to them. So,
well, I have that question then, because I do get like my phone. I have a spam folder for text,
right?
And it's a lot of political stuff,
right?
Or for me, it's like weight loss. I guess I'm trying to figure out how they got my cell phone number in the first place.
Right?
Am I on like some database somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some sketchy stuff going on,
right.
selling list or something that shouldn't. But they like when we have our marketing number and we had to authenticate it and show our EIN number and show that we're a real business. So they're really trying to crack down on stuff
right.
like that. Yeah.
Well, like I said, a lot of it's political, and I'm thinking that maybe it's because I somewhere like on social media, my phone number is attached to my email and my
right. I mean, there's a million places that they could have got it from.
So it's not like my phone number's private or anything.
Nobody's is.
So,
pretty much.
I just wonder, because I figured it's all automated anyway, right?
Right.
So there's not somebody out there going, "Ooh, this is like a good lady for your target demo." It's all computers.
Yeah, there's
collecting.
uploading a list, and you're one of them.
So give me a situation where, you don't have to tell me who the client is, but where you've run some email campaigns or how you use the email marketing in day-to-day business.
Okay, yeah. So we have a client in New Zealand, and
Fun.
I know she won't be listening to this, but
Well, if it's on the web, so it will go
Mm-hmm.
international. Like right now, she could look at you and see you.
okay, I'll tell her. So she has weight loss. That's what she does, miraculous.
In New Zealand.
Mhm.
That's so cool.
And so she gets leads in, and they're always like, some people are ready to go. Like they're like, I'm ready to lose 20 kilos today. They do the kilos, not pounds.
Yeah. I was about to say, what is kilo to a pound? Any idea? I don't know.
2.2.
Okay.
Yeah, times 2.2. So they would come in, and sometimes people are ready to go, and so they get started to get on a call. Sometimes people are like, oh gosh, I'm just going to dip my toe in. So she'll start setting them a nurture campaign, and like every week, just good tips and like recipes and easy things they can do, and it starts to build trust. And there's videos in there of her, and so after a few months, they feel like they know her, and then they're ready to actually start. And so it's really good at building trust if you're.
So do you work with her on that nurturing campaign?
Yes.
That's really cool.
Mhm.
And do you help her with the content, or does she say, hey, let's do this, this, and this? Or
She does most of her content. We just make sure that it's that we run it through a program and make sure that the wording is not going to be flagged as spam. So that
Oh,
it'll be delivered.
gotcha.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that flag spam?
Free, the word free.
Hey.
Some of just really any words that's like slimy and salesy, or even those kind of things.
Guarantee.
Yeah,
I'm sure
make
that's a
money
big one.
now,
Yeah.
like easy money type
Promotion.
things. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or things like
I'm making a mental note not to include these in any of my prospecting emails.
yeah, because you'll see like they'll go into the promotions folder, and that's
Right.
where no one will ever see it. So.
I go through there every once in a while. What I've noticed is recently is that a lot of more stuff is going to the junk folder.
Mhm.
Is that because of the new stuff that's happening with like the guidelines, not
Yes.
guidelines, but what is the right word?
Oh, just the restrictions that they're putting on emails. So you need to have everything authenticated. So I'm seeing that too. I'm seeing a lot of people who I normally, their emails went into my inbox, and then so I'm checking them, and sometimes they don't have things set up.
So if I go into my spam folder and Melissa sent me an email and it went into my spam folder, and so that means that she needs to get authenticated, or I do.
She does.
Okay.
Yeah.
But once I take her, I see it's in there, and I move her out of it, and I mark her as not spam. Will I get emails from her after that, or
You will, yes.
it will still flag it and put it?
No, you will if you specifically tell your inbox that yes, I want to get this from this person.
Look, all right, we got the 2-minute countdown. We have a new a new clock in the studio, so I absolutely love it. Well, that's actually really interesting because just talking to you now, you have completely changed the way that I feel about email marketing. Because again, like I said, I had this thing in my head going, yeah, I just don't see how that's going to make any difference. But
I like your idea when you're talking about the tips and like recipes and things like that. Like that's something specifically. And if somebody's looking for weight loss, that's like more of a long term.
right.
Whereas a lot of the sites that I get are like, I just went to Bath and Body Works or something one time, and now I'm getting a ton of these emails, and I'm like, oh.
Well, what she did is it's kind of makes you it's not pushy.
right.
You know what I mean? It's not pushy. It's like you said,
Like the
it's
nurture.
well,
Right.
that's what we call a nurture campaign, which I absolutely love the name of. Did you come up with that?
No, that's a industry
Is it really?
word. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, I'm learning all sorts of stuff today, and I'm supposed to be the marketing person here too. That's what's awesome. All right, so that's that. We are coming to a break, but I want to talk about the second thing. So first we talked about email marketing. Then you said AI bots.
Right. Chatbots. Yep.
Yep. So shop bots. Let's talk about give a description of what that is.
Okay, so just on the bottom of your website, usually you'll see like, do you want to chat? So
Okay.
so we hook that up to OpenAI so that it'll have all your information plus the power of AI.
So the AI will have your information, or is it the information that's like in Chat GPT?
Like from the site.
Both.
From both.
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, music means we're going to break, so we're going to run. But when we get back, we're going to talk with Ashley more about chatbots. So stay tuned for more BaaD Radio.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore. Spring is in the air, so time for a trip to Premier Couple Superstore. They have got a huge selection of lingerie, shoes, toys, games, love oils, and a ton of great gifts. With Premier Couple Superstore, you don't pay those high prices because you're going to go directly to the source. 5009 South OBT, or shop online at premiercouples.net, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Oh, yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. It doesn't feel like there's spring in the air right now. It
I
feels like it's
know.
nighttime
I know.
because of the clouds. This is, I believe, the start of a cool front. So
Oh, that's
I don't think
exciting.
we're not going to get cold fronts anymore. When I say cool front, I think the high is going to be like 81 or something.
Oh,
but I'll
that's
take
not-
it. I mean, I'll take it. It's better
Yeah.
than 91.
Right.
I guess, yeah.
So we're here with Ashley Voltoline with Get Me Automated, and for the first segment we talked about the email marketing, which, like I said, I had a couple revelations there, so I love that.
Mhm.
And now we're talking about chatbots, and it brings up a whole different conversation regarding AI and
Mhm.
business on a regular.
Mhm.
So I mean, are you seeing a lot of smaller businesses? I'm thinking the bigger businesses, of a lot of them have already automated, right? Now, are you seeing a lot of smaller businesses going in that direction as well?
Small and medium-sized businesses. Yeah. So I just had a conversation with a client 2 days ago, and they're getting to the point where they have a lot of leads, which is that's a good place to be in.
Mhm.
And so they're trying to weed out, not weed out, but kind of pre-qualify
Mhm.
the people before they actually get on a phone call. So they're using chatbots on their website in order to just kind of have a pre-conversation, but it's leading them into a phone call. Like,
Okay.
So
Right. So that's relevant. Now, how is it being perceived? Or do you guys do any sort of like, what's the right word, case studies or anything like that of like how people are reacting to the AI? I mean, are they just like, is it shutting people down, or are they actually converting?
Well, that's a good question too. So the Miraculous, the New Zealand client that I had, we set one up for her, and we decided, instead of lying to people and pretending like this was a real person,
Mhm.
chatting with them, because that's super frustrating. When I find out I'm talking to AI,
Mhm.
and
I'm
I
like,
thought it was
what?
a
You mean it's
person.
not Mary Ann?
Right.
This is not a
Right.
real person?
So we decided just to name her as Maggie from Miraculous. So
Mm-hmm.
it's obviously an AI, and so it's really, we're just trying to be totally transparent up front.
Mhm.
I actually really like that.
Yeah. So it's kind of friendly, but it's also, you're talking to a bot, and it's just there to answer questions like, what are your hours? How much is your program? Like,
Mhm.
what do you guys, how long does it take to lose 20 kilos? Like
Mhm.
simple questions like that. And then we also have a flow that leads them into a sale and booking a call. So,
Really? How do you come up with that flow? That's very, like I said, because that's like script writing. That's like, you know what I mean? Not script for like a commercial, but when you're when you're in a sales situation,
Right.
when I say script, it's like you have the open and close question, or you have the open-ended questions. You have this. So
Yeah.
if you're actually writing a script that's leading them to a sale, it's really cool.
So we just had a conversation, and I just recorded it on Otter AI, and I had her talk to me, and I said, okay, here's me, and how are you doing? And we did if someone said yes, and if someone says no, and we went through all the flows, all the possible answers, and then I just took that Otter AI script and made it into.
What does the interface look like that you work? I mean, what program do you even use to build all this stuff?
We actually white label UChat, so it's just a program that we can connect OpenAI to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, that's fascinating. How did you find that? You chat, right?
UChat, yeah.
Is it hard to use?
It's okay. It's
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Is it like a chat GPT?
It's sort of like where you build out workflows. Like, so, like I said, like you would start with the first, like they come in, the trigger is when they open up the chat, and then it'll say, we'll program in what to say, like, hey, welcome to Miraculous. And then from there we go, branch off into the different things. So it's just like a workflow builder.
And how does that report back to the business?
So at the end, we have, it can either, they can either book a call, or sometimes we have it hooked up to their CRM. So it'll put their name, email, phone number into the CRM, and then we can contact them from there.
Okay, but I meant, does like the business owner get an email that said, "Hey, you've had an interaction today," or maybe like in a report at the end of the day that said you've had X amount of intake forms filled, or
Yes, yeah.
okay,
And sometimes if they want to go, if they're qualified to answer all the questions correctly and they want to go straight to a call, that can be another action is we can connect. Would you like to talk to a live person right now? And then it can connect to the person's phone. So.
Mm-hmm. I think that that's fantastic. I mean, it sounds really, really cool. I like the live piece where she did the interview with her and then recorded it. So how did you learn how to do all this stuff?
It just came in the neck. I mean, the last time I was here talking, the AI assistants had just come out a few months ago, and so the chatbots platforms had just come out in the last month. So it's
Can I ask you a question about AI? Okay, so when I am in ChatGPT and I try to ask it to give me like a certain graphic, how come it can't spell things right?
Right, I know.
I can type in there and say, right, what did your sprinklers do last night? And it, like, I put it right in there, and it cannot regenerate it to say that. There's always misspellings in it.
I know. I've come up with that too, and I've tried to like tell it no, go in and spell it's get me automated,
Right.
like in quotes. I would try doing that in quotes, like that the specific thing that you want. Because I have had some luck with that. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, why did you put 2 M's in there? What are you doing?
Okay, so I didn't know if there was a reason why they do that. If I don't know if it's an intentional glitch, so it stops people from creating certain. I don't know. It seems odd to me that there's just certain things that it just does not get.
That is weird if you spell it out, especially.
So put it in quotes. Do you think might
Yeah.
help?
Yeah.
Just like a Google search.
Yeah.
You want it to search exactly.
Yeah, I always Google search just how to spell words in general. All right, so the chat bots, that's very cool. So what's next? So we've talked about the email marketing, the chat bots, the AI ones.
WordPress websites. So we're doing.
Okay.
I've been doing those for, I don't know, however long, over 15 years. I kind of took a break.
WordPress has been around that long?
Oh yeah.
Well, let's
Probably longer
tell
than
the audience what WordPress is. Anyway.
It's a platform for building websites. It's really aside from HTML, it's the only one that we're doing right now because it's the best for SEO and running ads, and everyone uses it.
So I don't know how to do a website. I understand you have like the front and then you have the back. I understand. I'm guessing HTML just means that you are literally writing code.
It's a kind of code.
Yeah.
It's a language.
Do you know how to build a website?
I mean, kind of. Not really. I mean, don't anybody pay me to do a website, but like, yeah, there's like some of the languages I started learning.
That's really interesting. It's hard?
Yeah, I mean, for my brain, yes.
Okay.
I think it just, if you're more mathematical, it's probably easier. I'm not I'm like an English, like
Right.
artsy person, so I can get my head around it, but it's just like, it's code. It's like a different language.
Like like I think of computer programmer when I think of
that's
writing code.
Yeah.
There used to be a part of Microsoft that was called Microsoft Access. Did you ever use Access?
I do remember that.
Yeah, I guess it didn't make it.
Right.
What was it?
Access was a branch that was like took Excel to the next level to where you basically wrote code to tell it to do certain functions. Like I used to use it to build like inventory systems for the company that I worked for. It was to create a report. So I made a spreadsheet. I said, this is how many shirts we have at the end of the month. And then Access would take that information and then spit it out into a nice readable
Gotcha.
form. So, but that just doesn't exist at all anymore, does it? Access.
No, more like other databases have kind of taken over. that.
Like what? I mean, that was a Microsoft product.
Oh, right. Like SQL.
What's it?
SQL.
SQL.
Like
All
a
right.
database program.
That's one that you guys use.
Oh no, I mean we can. but
Okay.
Yeah. We wouldn't really need that for WordPress. Yeah.
Right. Well, okay. So for the WordPress, WordPress basically is it kind of like a template then? It gives you a template to work with.
It's sort of just the platform. And so then we use Elementor is our theme builder and page builder because that's pretty standard. So if we build your website and you want to take it elsewhere, someone else can definitely know their
So
way
you don't
around.
you don't pirate the people's URLs and then
Oh,
run
gosh.
off with them.
No, actually, we will not own your URL or your domain. So, yeah.
I've heard so many horror stories
Yeah.
about people, and I want to say, was it Yahoo? I can't even remember, but I'm not going to trash them without knowing the truth. So, all right, we're going to go to break, and when we get back, we're going to talk more with Ashley. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Body Street of Winter Park. Experience the future of fitness at Body Street in Winter Park. Lose weight, build muscle, tone your body in only 20 minutes a week. Visit bodystreet.us, where fitness meets efficiency. And we are back here with Ashley Voltoline with Get Me Automated. And last segment, we started to kind of dive deep into website building. And you mentioned HTML, and then you also mentioned WordPress. Now, is there other programs that people use to build websites, or are those like WordPress is kind of the biggest?
It's the biggest. It's the most popular. There's like, oh gosh.
Is it the most popular because it's easy to work with?
No.
Yeah, no, not at all. But it helps with the SEO, like you were talking about before.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain.
So there's like Wix, and I won't talk bad about people who have Wix sites, but and then there's
watch it. I have a Wix. No, I'm just kidding.
So what is the benefit of using WordPress?
There's just so much more that you can do. There's like unlimited plugins. Like you can find a plugin to do any function that you want to do. So it's just like you can customize your website in so many more ways than other builders. Like Squarespace and Wix are good, but there does come to be a point where you just can't do what you're like, oh, I wish I could do those cascading boxes, or like I can't.
I got you.
Right, like those ones are more like template based.
Right.
Like they have preset stuff that you can customize, but it's not as have as much flexibility.
Right. Well, BaaDradio.com is WordPress. I just, like I said, in my mind, what I see, what I think of, and I think it's a good thing, is that WordPress is like a program that has like a standard. It's like a setup, like a template that you can use, but it's also user friendly enough to where I could learn how to go into the back end and change things if I needed to, without having to write code.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we use Elementor. That's pretty simple. It's like drag and drop builder.
Is that for the graphics that are on there?
Yeah, and for like the way that the page is set up. So you would be like, I want to put a header here. I want to put a video here. And so, and then we use Gravity Forms for all of our forms. And so that's really, when you go to a form and then you have conditional logic, like based on what state you're in, I'm going to give you another question.
Conditional logic.
So when you're filling out a form and you say, what's your, what state do you live in? And I say Nevada. So I'm going to give you a different question than if I had said Florida.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's the conditional logic based on your answer. So we may create forms.
Do you see intake forms as being like a very important piece of websites?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't used to use intake forms, but I like I said, nowadays people lots of times don't even think they need websites anymore. They're like, oh, I have a business page on Facebook.
Or TikTok or Instagram, stuff like that.
But I mean, I think websites are still an absolute must.
Definitely.
It kind of shows that you're serious and that it doesn't have to be a fancy website, but I think that at the very minimum, like if for a digital business card.
Oh, yeah.
Just to say,
I was looking for CPAs recently, and
Stephanie Kern sent me information. Did I send that to you?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I reached like a couple of the people that I saw recommended a couple times, like the same name. I would go to it and it just went to Facebook and like no website. And if I'm like, for my taxes, I need you to have a website.
Yeah.
I need something that
well,
looks
I feel the same
professional.
about a Gmail email.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean, for a business.
Right.
If they have so and so at
yeah.
gmail.com, I'm like,
I just had to explain that to someone the other day. Why do I need to switch over from my Gmail to my domain? Like, first of all, just optics. Like, I don't take people seriously. I mean, I do, but I also feel like maybe they just started their business within the last month.
Right.
So
yeah. I'm actually shocked. I am shocked when I see certain businesses that I know have been operating or at a certain level, or they're dealing with attorneys and things like that. And their email is still a Gmail. I'm like, I don't understand how that is, but okay.
Yeah.
But I think it does But I mean, I feel the same way about websites.
Right.
Even if it's like a one pager.
Yeah. Just, it doesn't have to be fancy, but you do need to have something. So.
And I know that when I visit a website that's well built and put together, I immediately, that business is up here for me. If it's functioning and it looks good, and it doesn't have to be super complex. What are some of the things that make, well, first and foremost, what does it cost to have a website? And I know that varies, but like let's just talk in general.
Yeah, so we host our websites. We'll host it for free for a year, and we'll handle your SSL certificate. So that's like when you go to a site and it says HTTPS, so you're able to do that. So we'll do one page for $1,000, and then each page after that is $750.
Regardless of what the function is or the
There
complexity
are
of it.
one caveat: if it's a real estate website, it is going to be a little bit more because we have to connect to MLS. So that is going to be a little extra.
What about if it has like online stores and stuff like that?
Yeah,
There's shopping
e-commerce.
involved.
Right. Yeah. So e-commerce. I will do one with WooCommerce on WordPress. I might recommend though that you do Shopify. That might be best for your business. But I mean, I would definitely talk to someone about that. So it would be a little more also for e-commerce. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't take you basically. What is your sweet spot for businesses and their websites? Because I mean, like I said, there's some websites that are so complex that I wouldn't touch them. You know what I mean?
But that's not even that's the person who designed the workflow. Like they need a UX designer to they do user experience, and that's their whole job. So they could have a complex website, but if it's intuitive, then it's not that bad.
Intuitive.
It makes sense for what most people would logically think to go to.
Right.
Whereas if you have bad design, then you would be thinking, oh, I should be able to go here for that, and then you just can't find it, and you're like, where is it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. That's with insurance pages. Like I want to go pay my insurance or anything like that.
You
I'm
go in
like,
circles.
I
You're like,
know.
oh my gosh.
There's one that there's a couple where it took me I had to dig and dig and dig to pay for my insurance, my health insurance. I was like, you got to be kidding me. It
I'm
should
trying to
not
give you
be-
money.
Right. That should
It
be
should
super
not-
easy.
But then there's other places that it's like pay now, pay now, pay now,
Right.
pay now.
Right.
Well, my husband Tom, he's a graphic designer, so we talk about website design, and sometimes you look at it and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? But I do, like I said, how do you guys design it in house too?
Yes.
With Get Me Automated, so you have a graphic person.
Yes.
Okay. And like I said, how does that process work? Do you talk with the client, get colors that you like?
Do you send them sketches?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll on Figma, we'll send them
On what?
Figma, a mock-up of the website. It's just a program to show them what it would look like. So we first have a call, and if they have any examples, that's the best. I love when
Tell me what sites you like.
Yeah, please
Okay.
send me some
Yeah.
screenshots, because then I can
Visualize.
see what
Yeah.
they're thinking, because what I'm thinking might be different.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have hex colors, that's even better. They already know exactly, because oh my gosh, we had a client where we went back and forth on the color gold for a few weeks.
That's a tricky one too.
Yeah, yellow, brown, gold, all those.
We finally actually just ended up using a photo as the background, because we could get that gold color.
Were they we want it to look like this?
Yeah, like a shiny gold ring is what we were trying to
Oh,
get.
so hard.
Oh my gosh.
Look at you guys. Look, you can see. I love it. I'll just point to the clock now. All right. So, and is the website's part is something that Get Me Automated just started? Because I know that you mentioned it. I'm in Ashley's BNI chapter now, and she brought it up the other day. So is that something that, like I said, is a recent thing that you started doing?
I've been doing it I said for over 15 years. I just kind of brought it back into our business because we developed a system to where it's easier, so we get them done in 3 weeks, and we have everything planned out and talk to the clients 3 different times and then get it done. So I think I just brought it back because it's easier for me now.
Well, it also seems to make sense.
Yeah.
If you're doing almost like a lead gen, if you're doing email campaigns and stuff like that, for you to be able to manage it from the website side as well, right? Because a lot of them just take people back to the website.
Right.
Is the website the basis of the majority of your campaigns?
Yes, a website and then a CRM generally. Yeah.
Let's talk. What is a CRM?
Customer Relationship Manager.
Okay. What does that
It tracks
mean?
doesn't track your contacts, people's information and things like that.
Right, and their activity, how they've this lady's been emailing me all the time, or this guy hasn't been opened an email in 9 months. So it just lets you know where you're at with people.
All right. So I want to talk about CRMs a little bit more. I know that we're about to go to break here in a little bit, but I think that there's a lot of people that have no idea what that is or how that can make or break their business. So everybody stay tuned, because we'll be back with more BaaD Radio.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Ground Up Property Services. Do you know what your sprinkler system did last night? Probably not. So now is a good time for you to get your irrigation system serviced by Ground Up Property Services today. And be sure to ask Rick Hall with Ground Up about a water sensor too, so your lawn doesn't get too much water. And don't forget about the lawn painting service. If you are planning an outdoor event and you want to hide those brown spots on the lawn, call 407-468-4295 or visit groundupinc.net. All right, so we are here with Ashley Voltoline with Get Me Automated, and we started to talk about CRM. So like I said, can a business function without one?
Yeah. So a lot of people you can run it from Excel or Google Sheets, same type thing, just a database.
So the CRM is in essence a database then?
Right. Yes.
Okay. And are there a ton of different CRMs to choose from?
We're a Keep certified partner, so that's what we use for our business.
Spell that.
KEAP.
Okay.
It used to be Infusionsoft.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like MailChimp is a low cost one if someone's just getting started. I'll start them off in that. Or Active Campaign, you've probably heard of that. It's a bigger one. So it's sort of where you build out your workflows, like all of your contacts are in there, but then you can also build out your email marketing in there. You can connect to your other softwares to build out, like, so when a client has been here for 90 days, then we send them this, or if based on
So is it really just like a big organizing program? It just organizes everything?
Essentially, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always try to figure out how to describe things because, like, if I have a hard time understanding it, I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe it'd just be like a mental block. But I always try to figure out the most practical reason. So when people launch a business, I have a feeling the majority of them aren't thinking about CRMs. They're thinking about like how they're going to, price tags and, like getting inventory in. But a CRM will play a role in all of those things, right?
Right. Well, it helps you find out, your customer behavior. So you can find out, like, this guy has never opened an email from me. So maybe I take him off my list. He's probably not going to open them. Or maybe you need to find out, like, do I have the wrong email address? Is that why he's not opening it? Or maybe text is better for him. Or you can also find out, like, this lady seems to like all my emails about desserts. So I'm going to send her more things about desserts and maybe offer to sell her a program about it because she seems super interested in. So you can kind of gauge, like, customer
But AI is
behavior.
doing that, not a person.
No, well, I mean, it's just based on tags inside of the CRM. So every time someone does a behavior, they get a tag, and then you can kind of see their journey based on that. Yeah.
So how does it work? I'm a business owner. I just launched. I called Ashley. I said, let's, I need to do all this stuff. How does that process start to work with the CRM? Like if you were like, do you do like a discovery call or something like that? Because it sounds like there's so many moving pieces and it sounds really like everything about it, but every time you say something I want to ask, what is that? What is that? What is that?
So they would come, I would find out if they're moving over from another CRM. Do they already have a database? Do you have some contacts already? If yes, we'll upload that CSV file and populate them in there.
CSV file, that's just the information.
Right. Like in Excel, you can put them in.
I'm a fan of Excel.
Yeah.
I like. I'm
love
old
it.
school.
Yeah.
I still, like I said, I still find myself, but I'll write the formulas out.
Oh my gosh. No, I love that. And then we'll find out, like, do they, what do they need to do? Do we need to build out a nurture campaign? Do we need to build out a sales campaign?
Well, is it also something that like keeps track of inventory? Does it hook with if it's a retail, does it hook to the register and create, or keep information there, and or is that something separate?
No, definitely that's part of it. So products, if you already have a product list, we'll upload that as well as a CSV file. So then we'll have all of your products, and then we can connect, whatever you're using for inventory, you can connect that to it. And
you make it sound so simple, though. I like that, but I'm like, my brain's trying to get wrapped around it. But like I said, do businesses operate without a CRM?
They do. I guess the value in it is when you're trying to scale. So if you're doing all this stuff by hand, that's totally fine at first. And I wouldn't say you need to jump in at first and buy software. If you're
Mhm.
only have a few clients, do it manually until you get there.
Right.
But if you're looking to hand it off to someone else, or if you know to have someone to help you, or if you're looking to scale, it's definitely the way you can be more efficient.
So I know that all businesses tend to lean or kind of work with certain industries. Does Get Me Automated have a certain industry that you guys tend to? You mentioned weight loss. How
yeah.
did you get how did you get a client in New Zealand anyway?
I know. I consider her a friend. She had probably 7 or 8 years ago when I was working for another company. I met her, and I actually told her I couldn't work with her afterwards because I had an NDA. I
A
was working with-
non-compete,
right?
Yeah.
And so,
Was
once
she here in the States or
No,
you
no,
just
no.
met like online?
online, yeah.
Okay.
And so I ended up getting permission from the person I was working for. She's like, yeah, you can have her. So
Aw.
I
Look at her.
consider
You're
a
so
friend.
sweet. She follows all the rules.
Well, I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So,
But if you try to do that to this place, they'll sue you.
yeah,
Tell you what, you sign those non-compete, and they are serious.
yeah.
Like, they hear you catch wind to even like slightly even mentioning something in that same end, or like within 50 miles or 100, whatever it is, you get served. You're like, there's your cease and desist letter.
Oh my gosh.
So you don't mess with it.
Yeah. I love builders and construction industry, like
Blue collar. You like blue collar?
yeah, like yeah, any guy like guys with trucks, that kind of stuff is good.
What
Like guys
makes-
in trucks, like where they have guys that are going out to do a job. So that kind of a business. Those are
So how
really
would that work in that industry? Are you talking about, like you said, you're talking about HVAC, plumbing? So B&I must be perfect for you,
right.
then,
So those are more. We didn't really touch on this, but like more of like a project management automation.
Actually, no. Let's talk about it real quick. We're
okay,
good.
yeah,
Yeah. So you said you just started project management.
right. So we're a Teamwork certified partner. It's similar to like Monday or ClickUp or something like that. So we set up automations based on, like there's the worker bees, and then there's the project managers, and there's the CEOs, and so we set up all of the tasks so that they, the people that do the work, and they do it, and then it gets notifies the project manager.
Okay. So like when you say project management, you set up the systems as the project manager, but
Correct.
you don't actually have the person. You're not going into these businesses saying,
No.
okay, you need to do this, this, and this.
No, so I would be a good point of contact would be the project manager for these, because they're the person who's probably frazzled and they have papers and they're trying to call and schedule things. So we just put it into a system that notifies people when things aren't done or notifies people when things are due, just to kind of keep everything.
And did you
Going.
build a system for that?
We did, yes.
How did you do that?
My brother has a construction business, so
Uh-huh.
I used him as my case study.
Nice.
That's really cool.
It's nice for him too.
But I mean, how does that even start? You just start talking about the systems, like functionality.
Yeah. Just to the client.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd find out like where's the hole, where's the
Is that
weak
usually what
piece.
happens though? Is like there's some sort of like disconnect and people are like, we can't seem to get like A and B and C to work together.
yeah, like the subs are never where they're supposed to be on time or something like that. So there's always a disconnect, or papers getting lost, or we didn't order that because whoops, we didn't have that folder in front of us. So just
Can that system order stuff like automated ordering and things like that?
no, that's a great idea.
Oh,
I know.
I was gonna say that's pretty cool too. I love my stuff that's on auto replay.
Oh, I
so
know.
I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about whether or not I ordered it or not.
Right.
All right. So let's list off the the four things, and then I want you to give like everybody all your contact information. So it's Get Me Automated, and these are the things you do.
Okay. So Get Me Automated. We do websites, WordPress websites, AI chatbots, CRMs, and teamwork or project management.
Okay.
And the way to find us is go to our website, which is getmeautomated.com, or you can call us or text at 407-809-1138.
Okay. Awesome.
And you can find me at melissa@strikingbrand.com, or strikingbrand.com is the website as well.
All right. Well, you guys, we have another full hour of BaaD Radio coming up. So you guys stay tuned for more radio with us. All right.